Okay, so just to summarize, when solving a linear system, okay, you're finding where the lines intersect. So there are three cases, okay? The lines will intersect at one point, okay? There's also the no solution case, okay? Which means you're gonna have two lines. You're gonna have two lines that are not gonna intersect. Anybody remember what those are called? When you have two lines or more.
Parallel.
Good. You're gonna have parallel lines. Okay? And then you can also have
Don't get too excited now.
I don't need that
you can also have infinite solutions. Infinite solutions
Yeah,
is
what's wrong
best
with your-
to
So, sanitizing your clothing. Well, for now.
Oh, right, one on top of the other.
Yeah, infinite solutions is when you have two lines that will overlap one another, and this one is best to see it in an actual example. Okay, but in other words, you have overlapping lines.
You guys taking the notes down?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, overlapping lines. Okay? So those are the three cases that we'll see. For today, we're only gonna look at the first two cases, okay? And then we'll look at, well, part of the third case tomorrow. Okay, so you'll see right now in the next examples that we'll do together, okay? All right, can I erase this? Okay, while you guys finish that up, let me power this on. It takes like a minute. I just walked towards the camera.
What game are you guys playing? Huh? Oh, the newest Call of Duty? I should get into it, man, 'cause I used to be like, I still am really good.
What games do you play right now?
Hey, run the one.
Just on my phone.
Run the one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant PS4. Oh, I love that game, man. It's my favorite
You
game.
know Minecraft?
Yeah, my favorite sandbox.
It's getting like so interactive.
Yeah, I also build my own games on Roblox.
You play?
Huh?
You play?
Not called.
It's fun though.
I'm terrible at
Shooting shooters on Roblox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do everything.
Among Us.
And you play Game
Huh?
Game Oh, Game
What the fuck is Game
All right, guys. So real quick, let's get your attention. We're going to look at a few cases here. So this is really important for you guys to start drawing the X and Y axis.
So, first thing though, do the example here. Okay, and then for number one, this is what linear systems look like. Okay, you're gonna see something a little different than what we're used to. I'll write it up here. So make sure you do it in yours with plenty of space. You may actually use color coding, because we are going to be using two lines. So we got 2x plus y equals 6. And then we got negative x plus y is equal to 3. Okay? So,
Is it okay if we just label like line 1 and line 2?
that's fine. But for our sake here, you guys will clearly see which one's red, which one's blue. Okay? So draw your coordinate plane. You also need about, I think it's 6 for this one. Okay, 6 in each side. That'll be enough. But you'll notice that the two lines we're given, those two lines, they don't have it's not in slope-intercept form, right? Y is equal to and then everything else. Now you could, if you wanted to, get it into slope-intercept form. You could do that, okay? Or you could instead use intercepts, okay? So those of you that were here last quarter know how to do the intercepts. So for those of you that are new, I'm going to do the intercepts case so you can see how useful it is to find a line, okay? So what I'm going to do is, first thing, we'll do the work here to the side. You're going to write the equation, but you're going to take turns. You're going to set one of the variables equal to 0 and then the other one, and then solve for both x and y. Okay? So I'm going to take first the y and set that one equal to 0. Okay, all I did is I set y equal to 0. It becomes 0. Okay? So it goes away, and that's going to give me 2x is equal to 6. How do I solve for x here? Divide by, not 6, 2. Divide by 2. And so then, you'll see that x, 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my plane, and I'm going to plot a point at 3. Okay, next, I got negative x plus y is equal to 3. So I'm gonna, sorry, just kidding. I'm jumping ahead here. I found x. Now I'm gonna find y. Yeah, so in the first case, I found x to be 3 by setting y equal to 0. Now, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the exact same equation, but this time I'm going to set x equal to 0. And what that's going to help me do is, I'm going to find y. What's 2 times 0, guys? 0. So look, you end up with just y is equal to 6. Knowing those two values, right, those are my intercepts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a point up there. And so then I can sketch the line. Yeah, I think that's a better. Now I can sketch the line by knowing what my intercepts are. So there's my red line.
You do the same thing for the other equation.
I'm going to do the same thing, but for the blue equation. And thankfully, if you see that one right, it looks like it's going to be much more straightforward. Okay, so if you guys maybe continue here, I'll continue up here. Okay, so then same thing. You're going to take each one and set it equal to 0. So first, I'm going to set y equal to 0. Okay, and I get negative x plus 0 is 3. So I get negative x is equal to 3. But I don't want negative x. I need positive x, so I could divide by a negative. And so then I'm going to see that x is negative 3. So from here, 1, 2, 3. There's negative 3. Okay? And then finally, on the next one, this time I set negative x equal to 0. One of those is almost always going to be straightforward, right? What's my answer then for y? 3. So I get y is equal to 3. So 1, 2, 3. Right there. So then, here's my blue line. Where did I get 3 from? Which one? This one?
Yeah, for the red one?
If I plug 0 in for x? Got it?
I was looking at the other equation. Plugged it in wrong.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Now that I have both lines graphed, I have to look for the point of intersection. And if you look carefully, mine's a little off. But for the most part, What are the coordinates of that point of intersection?
1 and 4.
Good. That's your answer. 1, 4. That's where the two lines intersect. Okay? It is.
That's a lot of work.
Okay? It is, but you'll see in the next example, because we had standard form, we went ahead and did it that way. But if you don't have standard form, you have slope intercept form, then you save yourself the work. You don't have to do the work. Okay? All right, questions?
Nope.
All right, does everybody have this? Somebody's still writing? Okay, now Toscano will walk you through the next case. Can we erase?
Yeah, already waiting on Isaac. Early. Just switch this one to slope intercept.
So this one, you could do it how I did it with intercept.
And then this one.
This one is slope intercept.
Oh, you can.
I was gonna say I can change it for them too, but if not, that's fine.
You could do that, honestly, since I think Adam was the only one who saw intercepts last quarter. This was just useful for them, that they can also find a line.
Got it. Yeah, I'll do that then.
Yeah. Okay, we can erase now?
Yeah.
So.
We will get you more. You did more markers in
Do we still need this?
nah, actually.
All right, folks, go ahead and copy this down. Okay. We have y equals 2x minus 2. So it's y equals 2x minus 2. And then we have negative 2x plus y equals 4. Yes. And just a quick reminder, folks, that you have y equals mx plus b. This is your y-intercept, right? This is your slope. Okay. So the m gives you the slope, rise over run, okay? And then the b gives you the y-intercept, okay? So we're going to use this information to go ahead and plug in our coordinates here. So let's start off with the first one in red here. I have y equals 2x minus 2. What is my y-intercept?
Negative 2.
Yeah, so that means it's going to be, starting from our origin, we're going to go down 1, 2, okay? And then from here, what's my slope here? Yeah, so I'm going to go up 2 over 1, right? So I'm going to go up 1, 2 over 1. Now, I don't know if this is going to be long enough or not, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it one more time from the top up right here, okay? I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Just to be on the safe side, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and graph it here. You don't need the 3, but I'm just doing it just in case. Any questions so far? How I did that? It's easy, right? Just find the y-intercept. Then from the slope from that y-intercept, go ahead and just apply the slope, okay? Now, let's go ahead and do this one. I was talking to Mr. Calderon earlier. I was like, hey, should I switch it to the slope-intercept form, right? You could, but you can also use the way Mr. Calderon just went over it, just to find the intercepts, right? So we're going to go ahead and do that one, just because Adam's been the only one that's seen that. So I want to do the same thing Mr. Calderon did earlier, and that is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to find the x value and the y value by just plugging in zeros. I'm going to do that on the side over here. So let's go ahead and find x first. Okay. So I'm going to plug in 0 for y. Okay. So that's 0, right? Okay, so we're going to say negative 2x equals 4. How do we solve for x? Divide by 2. Negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. 1 times x is x. X equals, what's 4 divided by negative 2? Any questions so far? Okay, so our first one's going to be where? Yeah. So I'm going to go right here, negative 2. So I made the blue dot just a little smaller so you guys can see, okay? Now let's go ahead and do, let's solve for y here. But negative 2 times 0 plus y equals 4. All I did is that I plugged in the 0 for the y. 0 times negative 2 is 0. Okay, so we get y equals 4. So we're going to go right here. Y equals 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That? Yeah?
The x value, forgot the plug.
Did I?
Negative 2.
Man, I totally busted up on that one. No one said anything, man.
Sorry, I didn't realize you overlapped it.
Yeah, I know. That was my. You know what? Because I thought I'd gotten. I thought I'd gotten the thing value, the y value. I messed up. And that's recorded, guys. That's like really embarrassing. But that's okay, man. It's okay. You know, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I make mistakes like that all the time. Yeah.
What you do about it?
No, I know. It's okay.
I'm
It humbles me.
nice.
Okay, so then in your notes, what example is this? Huh? Yeah, it's a parabola, right? I mean, parabola. Jesus, parallel. Jesus. Oh man. I just heard the P and I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. No, wait, it's not. Parallel.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Isaac, you guys said, so then what's the answer here? No solution.
Yeah, it's no solution. Good. So, then I'm going. But you know what? Moments like this make it more memorable, and believe it or not, you'll be able to remember a little bit better.
Questions?
You know what terminology? You know what terminology?
All right, awesome. So that's good amount for today. So now I'm gonna have you guys practice this. Okay, so you're gonna do in your books, page 4. It's page 485 to 486. (485 to 486), and you're gonna do numbers 2. We'll start with numbers 2 through 5, okay? But just a heads up, tomorrow we're gonna continue this.
Yeah.